I once met two men from two different places, both completely different from each other, but they shared the same faces. One face he showed the world, and the other was hidden in the darkest spaces. My name is Paige, and this is the Mezco Weekly, episode 5. And in this episode, we're going to cover the news and events from February 3rd to the 10th. Okay, let's begin. So, starting off the week, February 3rd, in-hand images of PX cable were posted to the page, and it was confirmed through multiple sources that the plasma rifle did not light up. I thought since this was the PX version that it would be different, and I remember that there was a product description when it first was listed that they would have a light-up plasma rifle. But since then, I guess they updated the description at the previous website, and they retracted that feature. So hopefully this is something that Mezco can try to implement in future designs. On February 5th, Mezco posted a short Instagram video teasing that Toy Fair was just around the corner and that Thanos was coming. On February 6th, Mezco posted an image and video to Instagram showing the new face sculpt for Thanos. I don't know if this was a prototype that they showed previously or if this is just an alternate head, but there's a noticeable difference between the two. Okay, meat and potatoes time. So we first caught a glimpse of this figure in 2019 at SDCC when someone was able to snap a couple of pictures while Mezco was setting up their booth. It wasn't officially revealed, and a lot of times that's due to the fact that figures aren't ready to be shown due to functions not working properly, the way it looks, it hasn't gone through the license or approval process, as well as many other possible reasons. But on February 7th at 10 a.m., Thanos officially went up for pre-order. Now this item listed at $155, and if you order direct through the site, there was going to be a $38.75 non-refundable deposit. This figure has an increased price tag compared to the last two pre-orders. Conan was about $90, and 89 Batman was $110, and that seemed to split sides amongst collectors. And after going through the product description, there were a couple things that stuck out that might attribute to the increased price. The first obviously is going to be the light-up feature. Traditionally, figures that have a light-up feature such as Batman, Iron Man, Ghostbusters, and Gordon, just to name a few, have had an average price of between $90 to $100. So that baseline price of $100 is going to be a given since the Infinity Gauntlet also has this feature. A larger body may be also the reason as well. Thanos is listed as 21 centimeters, which comes out to 8.2 inches. In comparison, Darkseid was 19 centimeters, that came out to 7.4 inches, and Gladiator Hulk was 20 centimeters, which comes out to 7.8 inches. So that would make this one of the tallest 112 figures we have so far. Now personally, I can see where they're going with this. It seems like they're taking the feedback from the customers regarding price, as well as possible sales numbers, and they're trying to adjust the price accordingly. Because if you take the last two releases, which were Darkseid and Hulk, they both averaged out price-wise to $305. You divide that by the two releases, and you come up with the average of $152.50, which is $2.50 from the current price of Thanos. Or I might be just reaching. Another thing that I noticed, and this may be a little bit hypocritical of me to say, but the promotional images appear as if they have more detail to the sculpts. This is evident with the amount of detail that we saw previously with Conan, in comparison to maybe a newer release figure like Cable, where most people think that the sculpt is a little bit softer. While the initial feedback to the first head sculpt that was shown was a little bit mixed, and I don't know if they had another one just lying around and they decided to go with the second one, but it does seem like they did take in consideration the first impression feedback that was given. This is something that Mezco has done in the past with figures like Wolverine, Nightmare, Batman, John Wick, and Iron Fist. I know there were a lot of comments about the fitting of the suit on Thanos as well. Some people were saying it was a little bit too baggy. To me, I didn't really notice it until it was brought up multiple times. But even afterwards, it didn't really bother me because it's a promotional image and it's always subject to change. I also figured that the suit was a little bit looser just to allow for more range, considering that he is supposed to have 32 points of articulation. So those iconic sitting poses that were raised about Darkseid previously may be possibly achieved without any or minimal damage to the material. Like anything, we'll have to wait once the final product is released, and I'm sure that we'll have a better visual idea of it when it's shown at Toy Fair. Fingers crossed. After sitting through some of this, there's probably going to be some people that are going to say that this video is defending the company or its products. And I can tell you that's far from the truth. The main purpose of this segment is to give people other possibilities to why there may be some things playing out the way they do, and hopefully kind of balance out some of the negativity and misinformation that's out there. And I've said this before, I collect and I enjoy the line, but it doesn't mean that I don't think that there's room for improvement. There are a few approaches that personally I would love for this company to take. But then I take a step back and I try to look at the bigger picture. The thing that I look for in a company when I'm purchasing stuff from them is the ability to take constructive customer feedback, evaluate the problem, and come up with possible solutions, and then incorporate those solutions in a timely manner. Time is subjective, but I personally have seen them get better every year. Are there still hiccups and missteps? Yes. Every company has them, but I have to say overall the ability to reveal, pre-order, and pay and meet the estimated release date has gotten 10 times better than it was a year or two ago. These figures are held to a certain standard, and I would even go as far as to say they're held to a higher standard in collectors' eyes. So companies are aware of that, and they want to showcase the best possible product at the time of release. So breaking news, this just came in. Well, nah, actually it didn't. This happened a day or two ago. This has happened the last couple weeks that I've been doing these weeklies. Every time I get ready to sit down and put it together, Mezco puts out some kind of new information, which is great. I love it. It gives me a little bit more to talk about, but then also gives me a reason to procrastinate and put these videos off a little bit. So on February 10th, Mezco did the teaser reveal for Two-Face. They didn't really show a lot, which is actually a good thing. It generates some hype and then also creates conversation in the group. Personally, I am all for them doing more villains for both DC and Marvel properties. I think it's one of those areas of improvement that we talked about that needs to be addressed. I think the biggest question people are probably going to have is, since this is a suited character, will it utilize the Spock/Joker body? This is another figure that hopefully we'll get to see at Toy Fair, which is in about another week and a half. As I said before, I'm going to be attending, and I will try to get as much coverage and information as I possibly can for you guys. And that about wraps everything up. Again, I wanted to tell you guys, thank you very much. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you allowing me to share some of it with you. And remember, it's just toys, so just have fun. Looks so good. A lot of weathering. Nice detail. Great sculpt. Man. I just cannot believe they didn't put a light up feature in this. Holy crap.